There is some logic here, isn't there? You get a better read from the OBR on what's happening with rates, which are coming down, and gas prices, which are coming down.
Yes, exactly. And Chancellor Jeremy Hunt said that this morning. They want the OBR to have the best information available to make the most accurate forecasts about what could happen to economic growth. So it helps them. Market turbulence has gone away to a large extent in gilts in the last few days thanks to their actions. And they want to kind of get the benefit of that in those OBR forecasts. So that's why we saw that delay. It also gives Rishi Sunak more time to speak to his new ministers, new secretaries of state, to agree spending cuts, agree plans. He was never really going to achieve that in just a couple of days. So it helps him politically as well.
So that £35 billion fiscal hole, what do we think's on the chopping block to plug it?
So we're reporting today 104 options on the table in terms of spending cuts. I mean, effectively, all government departments are in focus here, and we have reports out that 10%, 15% cuts might be required to departmental spending. So the aid budget that could be in focus, the Justice Department, across the board, Jeremy Hunt is looking for cuts, and no one is really safe at this point.
You watch these things very carefully. What did you make of PMQs?
I thought you're right to say that it was a very polished performance by Rishi Sunak, and I think Keir Starmer's job will probably be more difficult now. Labour has a record lead in the polls, but just on today's evidence, he's up against a pretty formidable opponent now in Sunak, just in terms of presentation, just in terms of competence. It seems like there's been a step up, moving on from Liz Truss, and that's something that Starmer will have to contend with. I think if you're a Conservative MP, you're feeling a lot happier today based off that performance.
How much leeway, Joe, do you think the market, I appreciate you're the political reporter, but how much leeway do you think the market's going to give Rishi Sunak at this point?
Well, I think the evidence we saw today was that they are already giving him some leeway insofar as that statement delay happened and markets were relatively calm in response. He clearly has restored some fiscal credibility. Jeremy Hunt's done a lot of that as well with junking the Liz Truss plans. So, yes, he has some credibility with markets. Whether he can retain that, that'll be the key question November 17th. Are markets convinced by those spending plans? Has he done enough to stabilise those public finances?